Hi, it's Laura. Welcome back. I know it's been a while, so we're just gonna get it started. Like, we're gonna do a front garden tour today. I know we haven't looked at the front garden, like kind of at all this year, so I have been battling some serious weed problems up there, but we will look at that as we go along. If you're new here, we are in Zone 6, Connecticut, and let's just go. Okay, we had a storm last night, so things are still somewhat wet. But look at this hydrangea. Look at the size of this. I know it's kind of like 4 blooms together, but it's enormous. Like, here's my hand. It's way bigger. This one's doing really great this year. I think it really likes this spot. Perfect amount of light. And then there is a Virginia creeper on this fence. And it is getting a little bit out of control, and some of it looks kind of yucky. Like over here. I think this is from Japanese beetles. So I'm probably going to prune this up at the end of the season. But it gets beautiful fall color, so I'll probably wait until after that. This tree, I don't know if you guys remember, it had like 3 leaders, and I finally picked one at the beginning of the season, and now it's like really taking off. It's looking really good. But I think I'm probably gonna move a lot of stuff this year, but this will be one of the things. These lamb's ear, I'd like to get them divided up and moved around. And the yellow section is kind of all a blur right now, but there is some coreopsis here that's in bloom. That's pretty cute. And these yellow yarrow are just about to pop. You can see they have like little button tops. They're not my favorite. You guys know how I feel about yellow. And these need like a major cutting back or something in the fall. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do, but this whole area really needs to get tamed. It is out of control, as you can see. This is where the groundhog lives, right back there. I do have one interesting thing in the blue section. It's kind of going out of bloom right now, but this is a sea holly. And it's like blue, right? Pretty cool, huh? It's laying down. I didn't stake it because who has time for that? Next year I will. I have a bunch of these. This is the only one that bloomed. And this is its 2nd year. So I think they might be, I don't know if they're biennial or what. I have another one that I started this year that hasn't bloomed, and I don't think that it will. Because this one I planted last year, and this is the first time it's bloomed. But it's pretty cool. There are these beautiful Rose of Sharon trees here. These are technically belong to my neighbor. But I get to enjoy them. And they drop seed like crazy. They're super annoying, unfortunately. But some of them, like I let a few of them live, and they grow pretty fast. So that's one there. There's another little one here, and I think maybe one over there. And then there's an elderberry behind it, but that's not in bloom just yet. And I did move this little spirea from the back, and doing great so far. I just wanted one more because I have one here, and another one down there. Let me show you my, I guess, am I calling it a meadow maybe, or a wildflower patch? So basically I just sprinkled like a bunch of stuff in here at the beginning of the season. I was worried for a little while that it wasn't taking, but now It's looking pretty good. We've got some verbena you can see kind of towering above everything else, looking gorgeous. But there's also like some foxglove down here. There's weeds too. But there's some zinnia. Here's a these are queen lime red. They're kind of more pink than red, but. And then what else? There's some agastache in here. More cosmos. Look how big this one is. And then there's this fun yellow thing that kind of like splays out everywhere. Can you see? I don't know what this is. My neighbor gave me a packet of wildflower seeds that was like all mixed together, you know. So I'm not sure what some of these things are. If anyone knows what that yellow thing is, let me know. But it's looking pretty good. I think there was some coreopsis in here as well. I mean, it's kind of messy, but you know, I really don't mind that. You know, I don't care about that. Now, over here, I really didn't do a lot with this year. I do have this hibiscus still. They bloom in a few weeks, I think. It's got like a dark red bloom, so I'm excited for that. I did just get this hydrangea on clearance. That's why it's looking so sad. I should have trimmed it back after I planted it. But I have these 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I had like a little cypress tree there, and it just didn't look right. I just thought it needed a 5th one. So obviously it's way behind, but these are only 3rd year. So, you know, a few years and it'll be just as big as the others. These have been getting eaten by the deer too, which is a little frustrating because I'd like them to be a little taller. But they still look gorgeous, as you can see. Let's have a look. There's also sedum in here. And there's lavender at the front of this bed. Now, some of them did die out, but some of them are really huge. So this is another thing I'm going to split in the fall and fill in some of the bare spots. This one's really pretty. It has like pinkish hue. You know how we like that. And then this one, I ended up staking because it was falling over. I twisted these 3 main trunks together last year. I mean, they're not that twisted, but I think it's working so far. I just keep on picking off the little shoots at the bottom and stuff. Stuff like that. Looking good so far. This 9-bark shrub right here is getting the most damage from the deer. And I think I will end up spraying this one just because I really want it to be taller. But there's all alyssum in here, and this is all self-seeded, as well as the ageratum. That self-seeds as well, like crazy. There's an echinacea and a yarrow. A couple of sedums. I'm not sure if these gladiolas are going to bloom this year. They look like thinner, if that makes sense, than they have in the past. So this is like their 5th year, and they're actually not even supposed to be perennial in our zone 6, but they have kept coming back for me every year. And this Queen Anne's lace is kind of invasive. I'll probably have to pull this out even though it's beautiful. I probably have to pull it out soon before it goes to seed, because they seed like crazy. And then this is spotted bee balm, which is another great self-seeder, and this attracts all the pollinators. They love this plant, and it's beautiful. I love the stacked blooms. I just love it. Further down the strip, there's a lot of fleabane in bloom. And it's perfect because we have also got a lot of oxeye daisy that blooms earlier in the season. And then these pick up just like right as those are dying off. So they're so cute. And I love them. And then these are green twister echinacea that I started from seed, I don't know, a few years ago. We got a loud bird here. More spotted bee balm. This is mostly like a repeat of a lot of things. And the purple is larkspur. That's another self-seeding annual. And phlox is another of the deer's favorite food. So they may not bloom, but that's okay. I'm not a huge fan of phlox anyway. I just keep it there for the deer to eat. Now, this area has been like my biggest battle because it's not even like weeds, it's grass. It's just straight up grass. It's so frustrating. So I'm gonna have to think of something. Well, I do have a lot of creeping Charlie. So maybe as that takes over, I know that's bad too, but it's better than grass. So maybe they'll fight each other to the death. I don't know. We'll see. But there are a bunch of cleome that are starting to bloom in here that self-seeded from last year. This is actually like full of cleome blooms or seedlings. And I kind of just weed whacked sporadically. But they're starting to bloom now. And they're so pretty. I really need to cut back my catmint. That's long overdue, but so are a lot of things. Life gets in the way. And then the whole like in front of the house area really had a rough time this year, really. It was between the weeds and like the groundhog and stuff, it was rough. But there's some verbena that self-seeded from last year, and there are some salvia, serious blue salvia. That's these bright blue blooms. And those are gorgeous. And then I do have one hollyhock from last year that's blooming. Well, it was blooming. Here's one. Beautiful. And more salvia here. And this autumn, sweet autumn clematis, this should start blooming soon. It's enormous. These are kind of crazy plant, but when they bloom, it's like all worth it. Now, we don't often take a look at this area, but I'm hoping to get this kind of whole thing connected eventually. I have no time limit on this, but this lilac tree is giving like funny, right? It's like looks like two different trees today or this year. So this side is like lighter green. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's never done that before. It's never looked like that before. Anyway, I have a hydrangea here. This is just like the classic Nico blue or whatever. And behind it is a dappled willow. And then back here I have a black lace elderberry. It's just so beautiful. And this is a Joe Pye weed, this tall guy. About to bloom. And then these two big plants, this one here is a pussy willow. It's a regular purple one, I believe. This one is also a pussy willow, but it's black, has black catkins, but they just look so different to me. And they grew like crazy. I know that they do. So I'm probably, especially this one, I'm probably gonna have to, I mean, it's gonna reach the freaking wire. It's huge. And this is its second year. It was a stick. It was a stick that I stuck in the ground. Excuse me. And back here, behind it, some liatris. This holly over here is not doing great. It's never done great. It's only, this whole area has only been in for like a year and a half. I think the creeping Charlie, it's tough to control and it kind of chokes stuff out, so. But this is looking better. It was looking rough earlier in the season. This is another panicle hydrangea. There is some comfrey in here that was here when we moved in. It just grows kind of wild. It's beautiful. And then some hydrangeas, but I don't really like going back here because there's poison ivy. So let's go around. I put alyssum in my like fountain planter thing, and it was doing really good, but then it kind of got a little bit dried out. But you kind of get the idea. She's tilting a bit. I need to get a handle on that. But I did get one chocolate Cosmo that returned from last year. It rained last night, so everything's kind of wet, but this is a beautiful plant. And that's kind of it in the front. I'm kind of rearranging some things. I know it's like the dead of summer and you're supposed to do that in the fall, but I'm impatient and I am putting a lot of it in like a shadier area, so I think it's okay. This needs to get split. It's obviously insanely huge. This is a hardy geranium. It's so big. I might have to wait until the fall because it just keeps blooming and blooming. And it's like, I don't want to mess it up, you know? And then I think I'm going to move this little apple tree too, because it's getting a little bit too big for this fence. And I'm going to need to move it before it, you know, it can't be moved at all. So that's for a future video. We're going to do the back tour very shortly, I promise. Here is a little sneak peek of how the back is looking. It's gorgeous. I love it. You know, I am still really struggling with the pumpkins. It's just been such a terrible year for pumpkins, but we'll talk about that in the next video. I thank you guys for sticking with me. I know that I was gone for a little while there. It's just like, I could give you all the excuses, but what's the point? Just thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you guys next time. Bye.